Happy weekend, everybody. Welcome to Stock Market Update. And we will start with NDX, and I will start with weekly chart. And you can see each candlestick is a week of price action, and these yellow lines are the gaps to fill. Okay, let's go to 1 hour chart and quickly see if we missed any gaps. No, we did not. So you can see what's happening on 1 hour chart. All these yellow lines are gaps to fill. You can see a gap here. If I zoom out, there's a gap here, gap here. So the gap are there until 15,827. And from where we are now on 1 hour chart, for Nasdaq, from the Friday's close to the top, it's almost 7.63%. Okay. Another thing to note, if I zoom in on hourly chart, you can see what's happening now. You see we made slightly lower low last hour of Friday. You made slightly lower low. And you can see what's happening on PPO. This is PPO. We are making higher momentum. RSI started to going high. So we started to build some divergence. And if you go to daily chart, still there are no divergence because this low is before this previous low. But we will see if divergence are built. Let's go to weekly chart. And let's bring this indicator on, and you can see all these yellow lines are gaps to fill, and you can focus on this green line and red line. You can see what's happening right now. We are back under green and red line, and this is where we're gonna bottom. We're gonna bottom either in September or October. So in September, there's probably another week left, and then October starts. And you can see the bottom of this green line is around 14,202, and the red line is 14,202, and top is around. You can see green line is around 14,935. Okay, so worst case we can still go lower. We can still go lower around 3%. We're very close to the bottom, and I do not expect it to go below 14 to 11. Okay, so worst case, if we come back here around 14 to 11, that will be a very, very good opportunity to buy, and that could potentially be the bottom. The reason why I'm saying you this is, look at this is the bull market. You can see this is weekly bull market. So this bull market was 2022. You can see the top happened here around 2022. So almost 22 years of bull market. And you can see in the bull market, we always come back between green and red lines, and then test and then touch it and then go. Sometimes we come all the way down to red line and then we go back. Okay, at minimum we come to green line, then bounce, green line and bounce, and a lot of other times we come all the way down to red line and then bounce. Here also we came all the way down to red line and bounce. Okay, and you can see if you try to get the sell-off, you can see from top to bottom 14% here. You can see here top to bottom around 10% here. You can see here top to bottom around 11% here. You can keep going. You can see here it was around 9%, and you can see so on an average between 9 to 12%, 8% here. So what's the drawdown now? So you can see before we got from here to down almost 8%, and then this drawdown is from top to bottom so far around almost 6%. Okay, so we can still afford to go a little bit more lower to 9%, and that could be the bottom. All right, so again, if I can zoom, keep going before that time frame, you can see this is the longest bull market, one of the July 2016 to October 2018, more than 2 years. You can see even here come back, we touch red line, sometimes bounce, sometimes we don't even go, like we can go many weeks without touching the green line. So here sometimes we touch it, and a lot of times we come a little bit below red line, bounce, touch red line. So you can see you got the concept here. All right, so we are in a bottoming phase right now. Okay, I'm expecting next couple of weeks we will find a bottom, and if you're an investor and you can hold till New Year, if you can hold till New Year, I think we can go and cross this previous highs. Okay, so even if you buy now, you can buy triple Q's ETF QQQ, which replicates Nasdaq. Even if you buy now, and by the end of this year, I think we can even easily go 13% up on Nasdaq. Okay, that's what I think is highest possibility. And on daily chart, I think what can happen is, this is just a speculation, guys, so take it with grain of salt. I think we can go from here, fill this gap, find some resistance here, come back, maybe make a new low, lower low, and that way we'll have a divergence and then go higher. Okay, that's my speculation. I think we are due for a rally. The reason is on 1 hour chart, we are very, very oversold on RSI and PPO. I think we're due for a rally. So we're going to get a rally, fill this gap. We could even go and fill this upper cap. I don't know, but for now, let's take it as a filling this gap. then make a new low and then rally. Okay, and then this will be the rally you really want to carry. And if you can hold now, you should be actually looking to buy right now. All right. Let's quickly look at S&P 500, US 500. You can see we broke this trend line, and you can see what's happening here. We still, let's see, we have divergence, a slight divergence on PPO, but RSI, I don't see any divergences are here. Let's go to 1 hour chart on S&P 500, and you can see what's happening. Let me get rid of this indicator. That indicator was mainly for NASDAQ. And let me hide these EMA lines for now, and you can see what's happening. This is live market. You can see on live market, we made a new low on S&P 500 and we made a divergence. You can see new low and PPO is going higher, RSI is going higher. Even on NASDAQ 100, you can see we're trying to make a new low, but here we made a new low here. Okay, and you can see PPO is turning up, RSI is also turning up. All right. And Dow Jones, again, but before I go to Dow Jones, let's go to daily chart on S&P 500. And actually, let's go to SPY and let's try to see gaps here. And you can see SPY, let's go to 1 hour chart. Let me hide regular trading hours, extended ones. And you can see there are multiple gaps here. Same concept as triple Qs. You can see the top gap is around 456. So even if you can buy and hold for a bit, from here we can go all the way up to almost 6%. Okay, so there's a lot of potential on S&P 500, and this is daily chart. And you can see also on 1 hour chart, we're making a divergence here. So we made a new low and with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. So I think there's good potential. You can see what I told you on NASDAQ. We will probably do something like this. Let me make that assumption here. So I think we're going to rally from here, fill this gap. Maybe we'll come down. Okay, worst case, we could even fill this gap and then we rally hard. All right. Now, I don't know if you're going to come all the way down to fill this gap at 420, but that's possibility. I think we're going to get a rally. We're due for a rally because 1 hour chart is very oversold. We'll get a rally. Okay, come back and make a new low and then go higher. All right. So that's the highest possibility right now. And this is the template I'm going with. But no matter how you take it, if you can hold for a couple of months, by the end of this year, we'll be here making a new high. All right. That's what I'm estimating on S&P 500. All right, let's go to Dow Jones, and you can see Dow Jones coming very close to this gap. This gap is right now around 338. I think most likely it's going to fill this gap. Let's go to 1 hour chart. You can see same concept, multiple gaps to the top side. So I'll go with same concept here. Let me bring some EMA lines here and see if there's anything we can learn from them. But let me get rid of this green line. So I think we are here now. We're finding support on this 200, this blue line and light blue and dark blue line, 200 EMA lines. So I think most likely we're going to get a rally after hitting those, come back maybe slightly new low, and then we're going to go higher. All right. So same concept you can apply on everything. Even IWM, actually it made a new low and I still don't see any divergence. So IWM is really, really weak, which is Russell 2000. So probably we're going to fill this gap, come down and then go higher. All right. So this is the most probable scenario in my case. So I think this is what we should be looking. All right. And let's look at gold now. Gold finding resistance here, and let me hide these EMA lines. And actually it is one of the best ones following the path which I thought it would. So found resistance here around 1940. Okay, and I think now it's going to come down. Now there's a gap here, so that will be a really good opportunity to buy. And right now it's following the path, so let's just think we're going to go down here, fill this gap sometime and then go higher. All right. It might not go straight down, but that will be a good area to buy gold. Silver, very nice trend line. This is one of the best chart. You can see very nicely supporting this trend line. And if it comes down again here, look to buy on the tag of this trend line, and then it's going to go higher, probably to a new high. All right. Natural gas, you can see very nicely on this trend line here. Little bit of dip a couple of days ago, and now it's just holding nicely up 1.73% on Friday. And look to buy on the tag of this trend line. I think it's by the dip. And if I bring EMA lines here, you can see what's happening now. It's trying to go above this 200 SMA, so which is very nice. So it's trying to go close above that, broke out, close above that, and it's already above this white line, which is 200 20 EMA, and then red and yellow line, which are 50 EMA and 50 SMA. So everything is looking good for natural gas. Looks like a bottoming process, and I think it's getting ready for a massive pump. You see this straight line down, it could go straight line up as well. Okay, so look to buy UNG all accumulation. It's going to be good to accumulate UNG at these prices. So look to buy natural gas around that time. If you look at crude oil now, let me hide this. You can see right at the resistance zone here, crude oil around $91, $92. This is a massive resistance zone, and all these green lines are support zone. So let's see if it's buy the dip. So if it comes down, look to buy around this zone, around 83 bucks. All right, dollar is at the resistance zone right now here, and this is where I should be looking to sell off. Very strong move on dollar, but I think I'm looking for it to fall down. You can see this cycle also coming here, so I think it's going to go down eventually. Bitcoin, let's see what's happening. Bitcoin, I still don't see any changes in Bitcoin. I see PPO green line above red line, and RSI is also looking good, and also it's holding this support trend line. So I think this is good time for Bitcoin to accumulate. This was a nice buy the dip. Let's bring in EMA lines and see what's happening. It's flat right now. It's holding this white line, which is 20 EMA line, and looks like breakout, got some resistance on this 50 downward sloping SMA line, and looking like it's consolidating here. But short term, I'm looking for a rally on S&P 500 and NASDAQ, so I think that's going to help Bitcoin as well, and I think we're going higher from here. Ethereum, same thing. Actually, Ethereum is a bit weaker. I did get a red dot on RSI, but I don't have green line cross red line. So just take Bitcoin as a guide and follow that. Okay, so let me hide these EMA lines. Just follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing still higher momentum, green line. I think it can still pump from here. This trail line down, it can go still straight line up. Okay, so do not be too bearish. You don't want to be bearish on support, okay? You want to be bearish on resistance, and we are sitting on nice support right now here. All right, so let's look at some of the tech stocks. Apple, right on the support line, all right? Right on the support line, very good time to buy in my opinion, and just holding this 174 area. Okay, this is a very strong support, and this is where you want to buy Apple. Tesla down massive, which is not good actually, down massively. 1 hour chart, let's see, it did fill this gap. There was a gap here, so look, you can see gaps are mostly filled. So now it's also a gap up, gap down, massive down, very oversold short term. Let's go to daily chart, and it's breaking the trend line, so which is not a good news. And yeah, no matter how I draw it, this looks like a break of a trend line, and yeah, it's a bad news really. Tesla bulls need to recover this trend line, and if they can recover, there are multiple gaps. There's also a gap downwards here, 216. Just be careful of that. So right in the middle. So I don't really have a good gauge on Tesla right now. If it comes to fill this gap bottom, that's a good time to buy. Else it can short term, I think it can ready to bounce because it's very oversold. Microsoft daily chart, right on the support line. There's a horizontal support. This white line is broken already, so but it's again on the support line. This is where you should be looking to buy. There's also an earnings gap here. I don't think it's going to fill that soon. Let's see, maybe it will fill next year, but for now, look to buy Microsoft. All these tech stocks, I think they're due for a rally, and you can see even here on Google, broke the trend line, gap down, but again, this is a massive area of support in my opinion. So if I go to this rectangle here, you can see here, if I draw a support line, this is where a lot of confluence here. Maybe make it a bit green here, right on the support line here. All right, Meta, Facebook, you can see here on this trend line, also not a cleanest of support here, but actually, you know what, let's see if we can adjust this. No, there's not a cleanest of trend line here for Meta, unfortunately. So anyhow, this is where I think it could come down, but I'm looking for this to go over. Let's bring in moving averages and see. Meta is not looking that it's finding support on this, just struggling, just holding this, consolidating. So let's see, red line is above green line, which is not a good news. So I really want to see green line going above red line and signal turn bullish. I want to see a green dot, but so far Meta is looking a bit weak. Amazon, let's quickly look at daily chart. Massive downwards move, and looking, it was down 4% other day on Thursday. Still could not close green, and but I think short term we're due for a rally. It really needs to go above this trend line to be bullish. All right, so we can rally and then go down. And Netflix. Oh wow, it closed this gap nicely. So I think this could be the bottom on Netflix. I was expecting this gap to close, and it nicely closed this gap. Now there's another gap here. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's see if we see any divergences. You can see we keep going lower with bullish momentum on PPO and RSI. So I think we're due for a rally on Netflix, and that could be an impulsive one. So I think Netflix is very good, good buy right now out of all FANG stocks, in my opinion. Snowflake closed green, surprisingly, but again, multiple gaps here. So I think there are no gaps to the top, to the bottom. Actually, there is a slight gap, but it's still far away. So if we rally short term, Snowflake can help with the rally. NVDA green, gap down. Still, these gaps are there, also below this trend line. And let's see if we can recover this trend line. AMD flat. Again, multiple gaps below this support line. It was holding this support, broke below it. But if on Monday it can recover that, that's going to be bullish. And if it closes even above that, that's going to be even better. All right. So AMD, I hope it recovers very, very soon. All right. Let's see. Hang Seng Index, not able to close above this resistance here. Okay. So let's make it red. This is red resistance. You can see. So really want this to close above 18,846. Bond market flat, made a new low, but you can see what's happening. We have divergence. Okay, even RSI has divergence, PPO has divergence. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this this above resistance. So now it's below this support line, but sometimes it could be a stop rate. You can see they dropped below it on on Thursday, and then recovered it. So I think it's a good buy to dip. And yeah, look to accumulate for the long run. Copper is in the buy zone. You can see very nicely in the buy zone. So CPER is the ETF. Palladium, you can see Palladium is also in the buy zone here. You can see very nicely a little bit higher, but if it comes down, look to buy Palladium. It's buy the dip. Wheat, also you can see a bullish falling wedge, higher momentum on PPO, and you can see PPO and RSI broke out. Now back testing again, holding this back test of this trend line, so nothing changed. On also you can see higher momentum, lower low, but higher momentum on PPO and RSI. Looking everything good for a massive move. This is where you want to accumulate corn. Okay. You don't want to accumulate corn when it's at top here. This is where you want to accumulate corn. Soybeans also in the buy zone. All commodities looks like they're in the buy zone. Sugar is the one which is going very, very high, and but lower momentum on PPO and RSI. So now it made a slightly higher high. So I think it's due for a cool down here because of divergences on PPO and RSI. So I think we can go down, then go higher. All right. So look for something like that. Look to buy on the support trend line. And let's look at gold miners. Newmont Mine, biggest gold miner. It's turned green. Let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is filled, so delete this. Let's go to daily chart. You can see what's happening here from now. Let's delete this upper momentum. I think we're going to come down, fill this gap, and then go higher. All right, that's what I think will happen. Gold miners, GDX, gap up, gap down. So I think from here, we could update this. I think we're gonna go down. Well, I think we're gonna go up first, go down, and then go higher because I think I'm expecting a pump in short term, entire market, and everything is looking good for a short term pump. XLK looking like looks a bit weak, gap down, but again on XLK, let's wait for a pump, new low, and then go higher. Multiple gaps. Okay, XLE. Looks like it did fill this gap. Let's go to 1 hour chart. So yeah, it did fill this gap, so I can delete this. So it did fill this gap on daily chart. XLE looks like it's by the dip, and let's bring in some moving averages, see if we can find anything interesting. So I think it can still go a bit lower on this 50 SMA line, find support, and then go higher. Healthcare, let's hide these and see if we can find something better. Healthcare very close to filling this gap, but still not filled. Also there is this trend line, support trend line. So look to buy on this trend line. So healthcare, look to buy on this trend line and then bounce. XLU, utilities sector on the support line here. So also there's a gap here. So I think it's gonna probably go fill this gap and then go higher from here. All right. Industrial below this support line, which is not a good news. So let me delete this. So let's see what's happening short term. There's also a gap here, but again, I think short term we are due for a rally. So I think probably we're going to rally, then come down and then go higher. So that's quite a possible scenario, but I don't know if you're going to go all the way down to fill this gap. Real estate sector. Oh, wow. That's a massive breakdown. Not a good news. So I don't like this. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Massive downwards move. Wow. Maybe after Fed's discussion, but very oversold. We could expect short-term bounce on real estate sector. So let's look for a little bit of short-term bounce. For now, looks like a falling scenario, falling edge. XLF, wow, also down. So broke this trend line. So now this is gap here. So surprisingly, why financial sold off? I don't get it, because rising interest rates supposed to be good for financials, but anyhow, this is what it is. KRE, regional bank ETF, looks like it wants to fill this gap now and before it goes higher. So that's what it looks like it's gonna be doing. Shopify, multiple gaps, one gap down, one gap up, so right in the middle. So I have no clue right now what it wants to do. And let's see anything else. Let's quickly look at zones short term for the trades on Monday. And let me hide this. Let me bring my indicator on and let me go to 1 minute chart, and you can see here. By the way, guys, if you want pre-market updates, I will be usually I release pre-market video to my members. You can join. The link is below. It's only like $7 a month, and one trade can give you advantage, and it can cover subscription fee for the whole year. And I do share pre-market videos to private member group. I also have a Discord group with the link in the description of this video. Just chat. You can join for free, chat with me directly there. So you can do that. Yeah, so join and like this video. All right, so S&P 500 is in the buy zone right now. Okay, let me, okay, it's fine. Let's leave it. Hull moving average is down, but it's in the buy zone right now. Short term, you should be looking to buy in the green lines, support lines. US 100, NASDAQ is also short term in near buy zone. Touch buy zone multiple times, but this is where you want to buy. Dow Jones also touching buy zone. Russell 2000 also touching buy zone. Okay, you can see short term, everything is in the buy zone. Triple Q is also in the buy zone. And gold, let's see, gold is in the neutral zone. Silver is in the neutral zone. Natural gas is also in the neutral zone. Crude oil also in the neutral zone. Dollar also near neutral zone. Bitcoin live market near neutral zone now. Ethereum also near neutral zone. And all the stocks, Apple is in the neutral zone. Tesla is definitely in the buy zone. You can see here, Microsoft in the buy zone, Google in the buy zone, Meta in the neutral zone, Amazon in the buy zone, Netflix in the buy zone. So you can see short term, all of them in the buy zone. Toronto Stock Exchange, XIC is the ETF you can buy, is in the buy zone. XIC is the ETF. You can buy this. So you can see if I go to daily chart for Canadian folks, let's see, you can see multiple gaps and coming close to very nice supports here. So if we can pump from here, we can almost fill this gap, 3.4%. So looking very nice. XIC is good. If you want to hold, let's go back to 1 hour, 1 minute chart, and let's bring back this indicator. Let's look at Hang Seng Index. China is in the sell zone, surprisingly different than everybody else. Copper is in near buy zone. Palladium is near neutral zone. Wheat is near neutral zone. Corn is near neutral zone. Soya beans is near buy zone. Sugar is near neutral zone. So also gold miners in the buy zone. Newmont mine, little bit of near sell zone, surprisingly. And let's look at sectors. XLK is buy zone, XLE buy zone, XLV buy zone, XLU buy zone, XLI buy zone, XLRE buy zone, XLF buy zone. All the sectors are in the buy zone. Let's look at SPY. Let's quickly look at SPY. in the buy zone. You can see very nicely. You can see this is where you want to buy, guys. When people are scared, you want to buy. Everything looks like is in the buy zone, guys. This is a golden opportunity to buy, okay? So you should be looking to hold. If you find value in this content, guys, if you're still here, please hit the like button on your way out. And have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.